Good Lord, look, I got an extension ladder over here. I had to get an extension ladder over here, and I don't have a truck or anything. I'm going to show you in a minute how I brought that extension ladder over. And see this area here, I can get all that section over there with the 8-foot ladder I have. I can set the ladder up here, and then I can step up on that. And then I can reach, or I can reach over that, and I can get all the ceiling from a roller extension, my broom handle, and then I'll have to step up there, and then I can cut that in. But see this high area here, and right over the stairwell. See, look at that. I need the extension ladder, and believe it or not, I'm going to paint that skylight well, because it's we're going to change the ceiling to white, and it looks white right now, but it's not. It's the same color as the ceiling that's up there now. That's just the light shining through. See, it's the same color as the ceiling, and that's going to be kind of tricky. I figured I'd put the ladder up here and angle it right up into the skylight well. And then I can get up there with the mini roller just by hand and do around the top and stuff, and do the inside corners and stuff. And then I'm gonna have to set the ladder from here up to that wall like that, and somehow get up there and twist around so that I can paint this side. And then I'll have to set the extension ladder here up against that wall so that I can do that ceiling section over there and get up high enough to take out that smoke alarm and all that kind of stuff. Whew. I'm going to show you how I got that extension ladder over here. And all it required was some duct tape. I just had a roll of duct tape. Here's my support pieces. I've already kind of folded these up. I wasn't really going to show this part, but here's my tie downs. That's it for that extension ladder. You know, granted, this is probably 1.5 to 2.5 feet long. Let's see how I got it here. That car right there, and see, I just put it on those rungs, and it just happened to fit where the ladder rung was right here and another ladder rung was there, and then I just taped around this right up to the ladder rung. I could drive probably 100 miles on the freeway and back, and that thing would not go anywhere. Mommy was having a fit at first. She was like, I want you to put bungee cords on that thing. And I said, don't worry, it's going to be fine. I put 2 layers of duct tape, and I said, I'll have you inspect it before I drive off into the wild blue yonder and get in a car accident, have the thing fall off. And I just used this, went up there, taped it. See, I taped it around this part. Had these not lined up, I would have just went around the whole thing, you know? And at first I was like, how am I going to get this extension ladder over here? And I thought, hey, I'll just put it up there on the up there on top of the car. Even though the points aren't very far apart, once you get it taped down, it's not going anywhere. I even put duct tape around my rag. I got a rag here. And initially I tied it with some little string stuff I got from Home Depot, you know, as you go out at Home Depot at the hardware, the lumber area. They have this on a big, huge roll. And every once in a while when I go there, I pull off a section, take it home with me in case I ever need it. I tied it down with that, and then sometimes this slides off. So I thought I'll just put some duct tape on there and try to keep that on. That's going to protect my walls and stuff when I lean that up against the wall. I don't gouge into the the wall or anything like that. Okay, so that's how I got it over here. Yeah, time's wasting on this project, and I need to start painting. And I want to make sure the time doesn't get away from me. I got about a week and a half or so to paint everything. The ceilings, the walls, the baseboards, the window stools, the door frames, and all that kind of stuff. But I need to think about this really smart. I've been working out here by myself for the last week or so or more, and Momi came the first 5 or 6 days, but then, you know, when she comes only for a couple hours, and then she's got somewhere to go. You know how that goes. And last time I had a project kind of like this, I had her paint all the door frames, all the baseboard, all the window stools, and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so I'm actually leaving that stuff till last anyways, and no sense me spending too much time cleaning anything anymore or lightly sanding all of the door jambs and the door casings and all that kind of stuff. I'll leave that, because if she wants to come out here and help me, then I've always got something for her to do. No sense me spending any more time on that and cleaning the rest of the baseboard. She's got a little bit of the baseboard left, and then she's got to sand a couple rooms upstairs and wipe that down. I could do that, but see, if I do that, that's taking my time away from painting the ceilings and the walls and that kind of thing, and cut in with my paintbrush. As it is, I'm still not sure if one coat of flat ceiling paint is going to cover these ceilings, because these ceilings are tan beige color. Okay, the ceilings are the same color as the walls, and so, you know, if it doesn't cover in one coat, then I've got that additional time to paint the ceilings twice. And if I have to, I'll paint them twice. I don't care. As it is, where this semi-gloss ceiling is here, I'm going to have to put a coat of Kills on there, primer, before I put the flat paint. I'll probably put Kills primer on there, and then one coat of flat paint where the semi-gloss areas were, before I paint the rest of this. You know, we'll just have to see what happens. And then there's some semi-gloss on the kitchen walls and stuff, and that little soffit up there, that's going to be eggshell. But see, I may have to put flat paint on it first, or the Kills primer again, before I do the eggshell. Okay, to get it back to what's there on the walls, because there's flat paint on the walls. So see, I've got my work cut out for me. So I'm not gonna mess with doing anything else on the door frames, on the baseboard, and the door casings. That's something Momi's, you know, she's pretty good at it. She's no professional at it, and I'm, you know, I don't think she's as good as I am, but she can put that paint on, no problem. Because like I said before, if you've been watching, I'm going to be painting these flat walls eggshell finish, and I'm just going to go up however close I can get it with my roller, right? And then I'm going to have her paint these frames and the casings, and if she can't cut it in exactly perfect, she gets a little bit of white paint on here, fine. That's fine. I don't care, because I'm going to end up cutting in this wall up to the door casing last. Same thing with the baseboard. She can cut in the baseboard on the top as best she can, but if she doesn't get it perfect, that's fine, as long as she gets that top little white edge. Okay? As long as she gets that. And if she gets a little paint spooched on there, I don't care. I'm cutting in the wall, the very last thing. Do you see what I mean? And so if you got somebody who's helping you and they're not as good as you, maybe you can have them do stuff like that too, while you're painting the ceilings, while you're painting the walls and all that kind of stuff. And then go back and cut everything in for them. You know what I mean? Like, see this top, I'll end up doing this top But she could put a first coat on it, and then she can go down here and go down and try to cut this in as best she can. But if she gets some on the wall, fine. That's fine. When I go up with my roller, I'm only going up so far, okay? And then I'll cut this in with my cut-in paintbrush, right? And then I'll cut in just to the white paint on that top trim, okay? So think about stuff like that. And I probably got one more day. There's a couple more things I want to do. I mean, I could start painting tomorrow. I'll just have to think about it and see. There's a few more things I need to do on the floor, as you saw from before. I'm gonna have to make sure that I fix the squeaks. There's some holes in different areas, and then I'll put some flashing kind of like this to cover up any holes. But see, I don't have to do that right now. The floor is going to be done last, right? I need to get the painting done, and then I can start working on the floors. I got to put fix all in different areas on this floor. But hey, that's for another time. The most important thing at this point for me is to start my painting. Okay? Think about your project and schedule it accordingly so you don't get in a bind. Okay? Think about it. Well, it's hard to believe. Just a couple days ago, there was oak flooring on here, tongue and groove. Looks pretty good, doesn't it? This is how your job should look at the end, so you get ready for your next step, whatever it is, whatever kind of flooring you're going to do. Okay? See, I got the refrigerator back over there. It's just pushed in. I can pull that back out, paint, push it back in, pull it back out. Same thing with this. That look nice. Got all the staples out, got all the nails out, got all the other staples out, 2 different types of staples, got all the loose bits up off the floor, checked around there, double checked around there, got it all cleaned up, all swept up, all thrown away. That is how you want it. Well, I guess it's time to go. Well, that's all I got for this time, but I'll be back with more videos.